All right.
All right, Rafael. So let's see if we can figure out your type. Can you please describe to me what it would look like if um, you were at you went to go to a birthday celebration for your own birthday, but somebody had brought a cage full of rats to the party and let them all out.
Just it depends why he or she would do it.
It was an accident, but it ruined the party. Okay, everybody, all the
In what
chicks
way
there,
would it?
all the
In what
girls were
way?
scared of all the girls were scared of the rats.
All right. Yeah, I guess I try to catch him and put him back in and be the hero of my own party. I guess I don't know.
Okay. Would you be mad at the person who accidentally let them out?
I I think in the first moment I might. No, not really. I don't know. It depends. If it really was an accident, I don't care. But if I suspected that the person would do it on purpose, then I would be really mad and instantly kick the person out of my house.
Okay, so you don't like to be have tricks played on you.
Um, no, I don't. I hate it.
Okay. Why do you suppose
It,
that
it,
is?
it, it depends. It also depends. If it's a trick, like it depends on my relationship to that person. So I couldn't say it in general, but in most of the times I would be mad. Say it like that.
Okay. Um, let's imagine that you were being asked to. Well, let me just ask you this. Um, is there some place? Is this like some place that you see often that you're not at right now? Like, is there a kitchen in this place where you live?
Yeah, there's the kitchen.
Okay, can you tell me all the things you can think of that are in the kitchen right now without looking, without actually going and looking?
So there are a bunch of my items, and there's a bunch of my dad's items, I guess, and my sister's items. Um, so I could probably name my knife. I bought it. It's a very good kitchen knife, and I use it all the time for everything. And a bunch of pans and a bunch of spices, a lot of spices, and some random plates, nothing in order, some random glasses. It, it's kind of a mixed setup. It's not like we have one kind of plates and one kind of glasses. We have
Okay, all right.
like many
So
different.
so let's imagine that you were hiring me to go to your house and pick up that box behind your head that's black with the red handles on it or the red
Yeah,
locks on
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
That one.
Yeah, yeah, that one. Okay.
All right, all
Now,
right.
you're gonna send me over to your house to get that. Now I want you to just say, but here's the problem. All the lights are out in the house. It's pitch dark. I can't see anything at all, and the electricity is turned off. So, and I have no flashlight or anything. So you have to make it so that when I walk in your front door, I'm just gonna remember your instructions to me and know exactly how many paces to go, where to turn, blah blah blah, to get to that box. Can you describe that?
All right. You would go on, there's just one entrance gate onto the property, and you would go in there, and then you would turn left into the garden beneath some plants, and you would walk straight up to my to the place I'm right now. I don't know how it's called in English. Like, yeah, I
Apartment?
don't know how it's called in English. The place that I am right now, I'm just in front of my house, in front of my door into my house, and so you would go the stairs up to that place, and you would stop right there, and then you would turn right and try to not hit anything. So you would kind of slowly sense your way to the only cupboard that's here. So this one, and you would
Okay,
hmm,
that's fine. Let's say I were to. You're on a team of people. Okay, I'm assigning jobs.
all right,
Now here are the jobs. You tell me which one of the jobs you want. Okay, let me list all the jobs first.
all right.
Um, Job number one is helping the boss to schmooze the customers. Job number two is um, helping to archive, keep track of, and organize all the existing resources and inventory the business has. Job number three is coming up with and posting the schedule. So you have to manage everybody's, like, well, you want this time, you can't, like
Mm-hmm.
that part of the job. Number four, you can be behind the scenes doing tech support kind of stuff, like basically helping people with their computers. Or number five, you could be the guy out front waving a sign around and dancing around to try to get people's attention.
Um, I probably go with the first option, and then I would go with the tech support thing, and then I maybe go with the sign, and then I go um, do what was the second one again?
Um,
So there's scheduling left and something else.
okay, there was scheduling, there was customer interfacing with the customer, there was waving the sign around, there was making the schedules, and then the last one, which is the
The last one.
what is that one? That was the first one I
Yeah, yeah,
said, right?
I forgot it.
I think it's
So okay, doesn't matter. I would do that, and then on the last place, I would do the schedules for everybody.
okay. Um, what makes what makes a song good?
A song.
Yeah.
So I think there's different types of songs, and there are those who have been made for commercial reasons because it's a trend and it sells good, and you know what, that's fine too. But I think um I don't know, a song is good if it's real. I guess I don't know if it's because if the person is honest with if people are honest with themselves, I think creativity can has a better chance to manifest itself in a good way or in a beautiful way. And I think this is what makes a song good, because then people are really into the song and they really make effort to make it a great song. And
What's the most important part of it? Is it melody, rhythm, or lyrics?
I guess it's all three, but
Which
I don't know.
one?
It's a whole song. It's a whole song. You know, there are some songs that have terrible lyrics, or lyrics I think that are stupid or whatever, but the beat is nice and the rhythm is nice and the overall vibe of the song is nice. So I think it's a great song anyway.
Okay.
But if I had to pick, it's probably the lyrics.
Now, is it just your opinion that it's good, or are you right?
It, I think you can be right about good music and not so good music.
I
For
do
example,
too.
in every authoritarian system, architecture gets really ugly because people are ugly in their minds, you know, and it manifests itself. So I think you could objectively say that it's not a great song or it's not a great architecture or whatever. I think you could do that.
Is dancing less objective an art form than say painting to evaluate?
Well, if you could say it for music, then you could say it for everything. So it's you can say it like that. You can say, well, the one thing is objective and dancing, for example, is not. That's not how it works for me.
Okay. Is truth discovered or created?
Truth is discovered.
Okay. Now I'm gonna pretend. I want you to pretend that you have crash landed on a island, tropical island, and it's full of native peoples, like savages, quote unquote, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now you start living with them, and they make you their leader. And then one day, you notice there's some smoke coming up off the volcano in the middle of the island, and your native peoples who elected you as their leader say, "Oh, great, Rafael, what should we do about this volcano? It's doing stuff." All right, you tell me. What are you gonna do?
So first of all, I would get out of the danger zone and take some stuff that
You're on
we
an
need to
island.
survive.
You're on an
What?
island. You crash.
Yeah, then whatever. We go into the ocean. Doesn't matter.
You're
We
gonna
go
just
into the
you're just gonna swim out into the ocean.
Oh, wait. Okay, first of all, I would go as far onto the volcano as I can to kind of figure out in which direction it will explode because maybe
Okay.
you can.
Your helper
So
guy, your helper
maybe
guy Jog, your helper guy Jog says, "Hey, listen, Raphael. We've been here for generations. This thing smokes periodically. It's never gone off before. I don't even know
so,
what it
okay,
would look like."
okay, stop. If there are there for generations, then it might shows on the island where the volcano is erupted before, so you can kind of figure out on which direction it goes off because it doesn't like a volcano in nature doesn't go off on all sides, you know. It bursts out on one side. It's not perfectly straight into the air and then just flows down the mountain like that. So I would figure out that, and then I would go to the safest zone on the island and take stuff that's really important. Maybe I don't know, just stuff that is important, and then yeah, I'll wait. I guess until it's
Okay.
over.
So
Like you
so
know,
let's say you
depends.
got this girl comes up to your name's Laka Laka. Says, "Aye, Laka Laka. I think maybe we should. We got two choices here, Raphael. I think maybe we should get in the boats and go to a
We have
different.
both.
We
I
go
didn't
to.
know that.
They're not ocean-going vessels, but they can go between islands. I think we should go to the island over there because I'm worried this thing's going to go off. And then another guy comes over and he says, "Laka Laka, you are such a worrywart. This thing has smoked plenty of times before. It's never gone off before. Why are we going to disrupt our whole lives, tear down our houses?"
I will go to the island. Just up there. I'll go into the boat and go to the island
Okay,
because
your
if
native
we
people are
survive,
complaining. They're like, "Why are we going away
I
from
don't
our
care.
homes?"
The thing is, if we can survive on this island and we just go to an island that's like 50 miles away or whatever, then there's a high chance that we can apply the same kind of strategies to survive there. So it's a risk that's not worth having. If it's the only
Gog has
island.
question. Gog have question. What's that
What?
volcano no go off? We live here
Yeah,
for
then
weeks and it no
then
go
I
off.
then you know what? We can make a bet, and I give you some pig meat or something
We
if you
eat
win it.
you for dinner. We eat you.
Okay, it's cool, man. It's cool.
You're gonna
And
let them
then
cannibalize
yeah,
you?
I think it's cool. And then I have my homies, on the side. And if shit's about to get off, then yeah, we have to make a tribe war or stuff like that. And yeah,
Okay, all right. So
rather than
fine.
dying in a volcano.
So you're determined to move, even though you don't know for sure if it's gonna go off.
Yeah, of course, because it's stupid to take the risk if you don't have to.
Okay.
No, there's no reason we should. What's the reason why the people are so upset? I don't get it. My
Be-
other tribe, why are they upset at all? Just
well,
chill.
because they had, Laka Laka put a lot of effort into her grass hut,
Oh,
especially to really make it custom.
oh,
And now
oh,
you're making her leave it behind and start all
oh,
over again.
but I would say to him or her, I don't know, that if the volcano goes off, then the grass hut is burning down anyways, and if it doesn't, then I'll make some extended room for the grass hut or whatever, and it's there, it's all good, man. Just
Okay,
for peace.
can you give me 5 reasons why the United States ought to end its embargo on Cuba?
So I'm from Germany. I'm not too much into that kind of politics, but okay, I'll try my best. So, um, Cuba is a democratic state, isn't it? So it's not a Soviet state or not a um, authoritarian
Yes, it
government.
is. Yeah, it is.
It is.
Yeah, it's got Castro. Yeah.
No, not right now.
I know.
There's
Okay,
no.
but I mean, but they had Castro for
Okay, you have to say it.
and additionally, their successor was handpicked by the Castros.
So the situation is like back then, when the Cold War was still going on. Why should the U.S. government end it embargo on
No, I mean right now. Right now is
right
fine, but
now.
I still wouldn't call Cuba a non-authoritarian regime or
Okay,
democratically elected at
okay,
all.
okay, okay, okay. So in order to make the population go lean towards democracy, you might end the trade embargo, so the people are not that poor anymore, because they don't get any food and they're just frustrated as hell. So it's more likely that they support their feeding hand. So just cut off or just get in to manipulate those supplies, and then you can. That would be the best reason, I think. And then maybe to get some information about the whole system and figure out why it works in the first place or how it works, and then try to slowly um, figure out where you have to like put in some stuff to make it go. I don't know, to
Okay, all right, all right.
get democratic again. I don't know.
Okay, all right. So can you repeat? I'm gonna say a string of numbers fairly
All right.
slowly. I'm only gonna say it one time. I'm gonna ask you to repeat it back to me. Okay. 7, 5, 8, 1, 3, 4, 2.
7581342. One
Okay.
two four
Yeah,
two.
no, you're right. You got it. All right. Let's ask some TI questions. If only wolves howl at the moon and Ozzy Osbourne howls at the moon, can we conclude that Ozzy Osbourne is a wolf?
Yeah, because only wolves are howling at the moon.
Okay. Um, if all squirrels have jackets and some things with jackets also have hats, and all things with hats play baseball, is it the case that some squirrels play baseball?
Yeah, it is. Okay, repeat. Okay, sorry, repeat it.
If all squirrels have jackets
Yeah.
and some things with jackets have coats, I'm sorry, some things with jackets have hats and all things with hats play baseball, is it the
Okay,
case
no,
that.
no. Oh, no, okay, no, no,
All right.
no.
Um,
Sorry.
how about, have you ever heard the hats question?
What?
The hats question?
No,
All right.
never
There
heard.
are 5 hats in a bag. 3 of them are
Oh, okay.
red.
Yeah, I saw it on the
Okay, never mind. I won't ask you.
video. I think the prison
Okay,
guy.
that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna shoot you a. I'm gonna put something. I guess I'll just share my screen so you can see it. I want because you need to read this question because it's too long for you to just do verbally. Let me get this question for you. Here with the pure. 3 3. Um. Okay. All right. So if I share my screen now, can you see this well enough?
I can see it, but I have to get very close to my little screen because I have no glasses.
All right. Let me make this bigger by pushing plus here.
Thank you.
All right.
I feel like I'm in elementary school.
So try number 1, and then I'm gonna ask you to try number 4. Number 1 and 4 is
All
what
right,
we're gonna do.
let me read it.
Okay.
All right.
There are actually two possible solutions.
All right.
Either one's
Okay.
correct. Either one's correct.
Okay. All right. All right. So, hmm. Oh, I see. One person's 12. Okay. So, um, so Fred has 12, Madge has 6, Joe has 3, and Dan has 1, I guess.
Yeah, that would work. Or 2, 4, 8, 12 works as well.
All
Um,
right.
all right, cool. So let's go on to number 4 here. During a recent police investigation, Chief Inspector Stone was interviewing 5 local villains to try to identify who stole Mrs. Archer's cake from Midsummer's Fair. Each of these people tells exactly one lie and one truth. Okay? So for Arnold, for example, either the sentence "it wasn't Edward" is true,
Or
and
Brian.
the sentence "it was Brian" is false, or the other way around.
Oh man. I think I drank too much coffee, man. Okay, okay, it's all good.
The thing is, I actually wasn't able to solve this one when I found this problem. I had to look
No,
up
I
the
just,
answer.
I just read the sentences without thinking. I'm just reading the first sentence and then the next one and go back. Okay, okay. What's the N word? So I guess it wasn't Arnold because it's kind of likely. I don't know. Maybe it was Eric.
Okay, so look, remembering that because one sentence is a lie and one is true, if they're both the same, in other words, if they're both was or both wasn't, yeah. Now see if you can figure it out.
What? Oh, I see. I can? Question mark?
All right, so look, if like Derek says, it was Charlie and it was Brian, one of those sentences is true and one of them is
Oh,
false.
yeah. So one of those guys has to be it.
Right. Yeah.
I guess it was Brian then.
Nope, it was Charlie.
Okay. 0 points on that one.
Yeah. Well, the reason is because since Derek says it's either Charlie or Brian, you know it's either Charlie or Brian. Brian says it wasn't Charlie and it wasn't Edward. So we know it wasn't Edward. That must be true. Therefore, it wasn't Charlie must be false, and it was Charlie. See what I'm saying?
No,
Okay,
not really.
let me explain it again because I want you to understand what I'm
The
saying.
first one I get, but the Brian point I don't.
Okay, so Brian, he says it wasn't Charlie and it wasn't Edward.
and
But
one of those
but based on
things.
Derek, we've already eliminated Edward as a possibility. So the statement "it wasn't
Why
Edward"
why
must
do
be
we
true
eliminate Edward? Ah, oh,
because it's
I
either
see.
Charlie or Brian. Derek tells us it's either Charlie or Brian, and it can't possibly be
Ah,
Edward,
okay,
Arnold,
of course.
or
Okay,
Derek.
okay, okay, okay. I see. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
seems
All right.
very.
So here's the thing. Let me talk to you about where I am right now in typing you as far as what I'm thinking.
All right.
You're pretty. I'm. I think I got you narrowed down to four possible types, um, which is INFJ, INTJ, ENTP, or INTP. One of those four. But I need to do a little bit more work to get you narrowed a little bit more from that. So let me ask you, can you? So a guy calls you up, Mr. Moneybags. He says, Rafael, listen, I need your help right now to solve a problem. I will pay you $10,000. Get over here.
I'm there, no
Okay.
matter what.
Now, what sort of problem are you hoping it is?
So I guess it's a very. I guess it's kind of an illegal problem because if someone calls you and gives you $10,000 and I don't have.
Mr. Moneybags is known to be a very legitimate citizen. Okay, I'm going to clear that up right now.
What I hope that I don't know something exciting. I don't know. So
So what if it turns out the problem is
okay,
doing
wait.
interior decoration? What if the problem's interior decorating? You have to interior decorate his house.
For $10,000.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I'll do it. But I don't know. I don't really care. Yeah.
I mean, if he's not happy with it, if he's not happy with the color scheme and stuff, he's gonna make you do it again and again and again until you get it right. Are you gonna have to work hard? Are you gonna do it a lot of times to get it right with interior decorating?
So you asked it if I'm personally doing, or can you
No,
repeat the
he's
question?
hired you to
Yeah.
decorate his house, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But
All
if
right.
he's not happy with your job you do, he's gonna make you do it again.
How good do I know him?
Um, I mean, he's hired you before, so you know he's gonna pay
Okay.
you.
All right.
But you also know
I know.
he's a tough cookie. He really wants it the way he wants it.
Yeah. All right. All right. I know him.
Okay, so how many? It's like if you get the interior design job, how many times are you gonna have to redo it before you get it right?
How many times you would make me redo it
Yeah,
to me quitting?
before you think you actually end up getting it right. In other words, are you confident in your ability to succeed at that task quickly, right away, or after a
Yeah.
couple of attempts?
Because if I know him like a bit, then I would know what he wants to has his house designed. So it would make it that his desires that he not maybe not articulates. Um, I would kind of do it this way and go with the fly. Like my first attempt would be like as best as I can, and if he doesn't like it, kind of I'm kind of I would redo it because
Okay.
maybe I.
What's a job you're confident you'd get right the first time, no matter what?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm not really bothered by making it wrong, so but I guess it would be something like figuring out why someone's saying things, or I don't know,
Figure.
figuring out a system or figuring out a situation. Oh, I
So let's say you were brought in as his uh, advisor, and he's asking you to sit in on interviews, and at the end of it, he wants to know if you think that person that was just interviewed is trustworthy or not.
yeah, I would probably 9 out of 10 times get it perfectly done.
Okay,
If the
cool, cool. Um, can you tell me um, what you think it means to be unfair?
it means that you have a certain power that other people may not have, can be anything, and to not use this power to not use this power with responsibility, but to use it to do something awful with it, or to avoid responsibility, or to take advantage of people who are not that powerful in this particular area of life or this particular category. That would be unfair for
Okay.
me.
Complete the following poem. If I eat a lot of cheese, I will be so happy. Then I'll find a lot of bees.
Then they would make me nappy. I don't
Okay, all right, that's
know.
fine, that's fine. Um, how many different ways can you think to say the following sentence? I'm tired of this food.
This food sucks. I absolutely hate this food. Let's go somewhere else to to eat some food. Did you read the new cookbook? I
Okay.
don't know.
Um, if you, what do you think you'd be better at in a timed test? Would you be better at judging 5 poems that were hastily scrawled out by somebody, and determine which of them is best, and providing meaningful feedback as to why it's better than the other ones?
What does it mean? It depends on the definition of best in that situation. You know?
Okay, but hold on. You're being given. I'm asking you which of these tasks can you do faster. I'm giving you 2 tasks. Let me give you the second task now.
All right. All right.
And so the other option is you could be the one writing the poems. So in other words, you either have to read them and analyze them and give the person feedback, or you have to write them. What do you think you could do faster?
Analyze them.
Okay. Um,
Faster.
do you play any music or draw any pictures or anything like that?
Yeah, I do. So not on a regular basis, but I also write some poems from time to time. But or draw some pictures, or just playing piano and figuring out some nice tones, I guess.
Okay. Um, so, all right, let me ask you this question now. If you were me and you were asking questions of you right now based on what questions have been asked already, what questions would you ask next?
I guess I would. I guess I would ask some questions about past events. I don't know, because yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
can you
do
talk
that.
to me about a particularly important event from your past, one that you think made a lasting difference on you?
Hmm. I was drug addict, I guess, for 4 years, 3.5 years. Really, hedonistic, kind
What
of
what
hardcore,
drugs? What
like
drugs?
like everything. Oh, okay, mainly weed, but also cocaine, LSD, MDMA, like those kind of stuff.
Molly. Um, and did you quit those things entirely, um, or just put them in a different priority level in your life?
Uh, a bit of both, I guess. So, what was the first one again?
Did you?
I,
This is that's why I was confused by your answer there, because I said, did you quit them entirely, or did you just put them in a more appropriate role in your life?
I think I have. I would. I'm. I think I have a lot of energy and a lot of I don't know, craving for stuff, So that's per se not a bad thing to have. I think it's just that if you don't do something right with it or something efficient with it, then you will eat up yourself, and that's what I quit for the most part, I guess, because I'm still smoking and still drinking coffee and still,
I see.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, can you ask me some questions just based on? I think I already know what type you are, by the way, but
I mean, what type I
I
am?
think you're an INFJ.
I'm an INFJ.
I think
Oh,
so.
cool.
I mean, in theory, possible you could be an ENFJ. I don't think so because you couldn't really. Your TI is too good. I think you're an INFJ, but can you ask me some questions about that you might be curious about regarding cognitive functions or any of the subjects that I talk about that you think? Okay, well now that I think about it, I have wondered maybe what he thinks about me or something like
So
that.
your diagnosis is the big question I have right now about the whole MBTI thing, because I think of myself as an ENTP,
Ah,
but you don't. Look, it's like I went to your typing session because I think you might do a better job than the online tests and stuff like that. Because I've watched your channel, like I kind of get the feeling that you do it. I don't know. You do it good. You do this thing quite good. I get this feeling. So this is why I went to make this. I don't know, assessment. Um, and I would like to explain to me how you figured that out.
okay.
So,
Well, let me give you some examples.
all right.
The thing is, an INFJ is a knower, and an ENTP is an actor. So when I ask you the question, would you be faster at writing the poems or at analyzing and giving feedback? What your answer suggests you're most comfortable with NI knowing, namely understanding intuitively which poem is better than which other poem, and then explaining to somebody why. Um, that's a knowing process, even though it would seem to analysis sounds like a deliberation function. It's not in
Yeah.
this instance; it's a knowing process. So, on the other hand, would be much more comfortable with writing the poems. I could write 5 poems in a second. It'd be so easy. But whereas the analyzing and coming up with the feedback, I have to think about
I
it quite a
think
bit. I have to go back and forth and go, huh? You know, it's a much more it's less cut and dry. I know I can do the action one. The knowing one, I know is going to take some finagling, and I might be wrong. But that's just one example. The other thing is, when I ask you, is truth discovered or created? You give me the NI answer is discovered. Um, when I ask for like reasons to do things, you tend to give me a couple of them, but not a lot. Okay, can you define for me introverted intuition? What's your definition of introverted intuition?
so with the whole MBTI thing, I don't really have a lot of definitions. I guess I don't know. I'm just curious about. I don't know.
Well, I'd like you to attempt to define it right now.
They're different. Okay. Let me try to explain. So there, from my perspective, there are different paths or different events simultaneously occurring, and NI is like you pick one goal or you pick one path and you just go all in. Okay, you don't care about those interfering twisting things. You go all in. You have this one idea or this one concept or this one, I don't know,
Okay,
person might be, and you go all in on that. So I think I don't know, maybe I have that as my savior or whatever, but I don't think so, because I don't know, I'm very repelled by the idea that you have just one thing and be very fixed on it, because you
okay,
can be so fucking wrong and then you
but
waste a lot of
but listen. Um, if I were to answer the question, what's introverted intuition? I'd say, well, first we need to taxonomy the different ways in which we can talk about, and we do talk about introverted intuition, and then we can talk about what each of those examples are. So, for example, we might talk about extroverted intuition introverted intuition as a process. We might talk about it as a value. We might talk about it as a behavioral display. We might talk about it as a ontological quality, like a type description. We might talk about it like, yeah, and then it's very difficult for me to even give one answer to something. Whereas there's a couple of different questions now. You've given me one clear answer, just like Rachel
Oh,
does
all right.
too.
That's true, man. That's true.
There's a couple of other things that
But the thing is,
yeah. Go ahead.
just for that, you just listed a bunch of things, and yeah, I would be an I then, which I think are generally speaking the same thing, fundamentally
I
speaking.
didn't list a bunch of things.
Yeah,
Okay.
you did.
No, no. I have not listed a bunch of things. I said, in order to answer this question, we need to survey the landscape and divide it like this as a precondition to answering it.
What do you mean? What do you mean? So,
What I
can
mean is, first, I need to, before I feel like I can answer the question what introverted intuition is, I need to say, look, we can talk about it like a process, in which case we're describing a manner of attention through time expressed by an individual that is attending by some means and not others. Okay, we could talk about it as a value because having this process in a given slot will typically correlate with certain kinds of valuings of it, and the correlative values. The correlative values of NI are truth, singularity, and correctness, or the rightness, fittedness, you might say. So the thing about NI is it's it's got good fittedness. When you say NI might be wrong, it sometimes is, but not very often. The thing is, let's say you've got a puzzle that's got a shape of a cowboy, and then you've also got a shape of a star and a shape of a Christmas tree, and they're all empty. Now you pick up a piece, and it's the cowboy. You don't need to speculate about whether you might be able to squeeze it into the tree hole. You don't need to speculate about what would happen if the thing were a triangle or something. You just put it immediately in the right hole because it fits there, obviously, and it's clear to you. It's fittedness, right? Now the other thing is there's fittedness through time, which is when to pull the trigger. If there's a deer crossing in front of you, when do you actually pull the trigger? Let the bow and arrow go, so you kill the deer. You have to wait until it's close to you, and you got to wait until just the right moment. And you sort of do
I'm
this.
quite good at that.
You are good at that.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, actually, I see you have arrows back there. I
Yeah.
always I always use this deer analogy because it seems like it's a good metaphor. It's a good metaphor or something. So it's not specifically made for you. I
Yeah,
have
I
noticed the arrows, but I
about
forgot
that.
about them.
I did think about that. I'm just trying to answer your questions to you better figuring out what's going on.
Okay, so um, I am thinking that in general you've got too little of a. Basically, the way people are talking about introverted intuition sometimes, including me, and talking about, well, it's distillation, it's reduction to a singularity or whatever. That's kind of a process analysis that says uh, it says after the fact, here's what the outcome looks like it did. So, um, but regardless, introverted intuition as a dominant function is first and foremost it is universalist over particularist. So what
So,
Rachel does
can
for
you repeat that again, please? What?
yeah,
What?
first and foremost it's universalist and over particularist, even when you should use particularist knowledge. What this means is, for example, Rachel, when she's worried about the state of the relationship, she doesn't look at the actual data. In other words, she doesn't say, well, am I happy in my day to day life with Eric? She finds articles about ENTP INFJ relationships, or
Yeah, of course.
why they won't work and stuff,
No, not why they won't work,
or
but
why
I
they
guess
will.
the thing
Either
is,
way,
okay, the thing is, and that's not really about your diagnosis or whatever, but the thing is, if you just look at the sensory data or just look at the the things that are real, it can be very misleading sometimes because people do stuff to make it seem that way. And I think it's great to ask yourself constantly, really all the time, why people are doing it, or how does it fit into the whole string of events, because otherwise you are fucking naive and you will get, I don't know, it's easy to take advantage of you. And the thing is, even though you might trust some people, why should you just trust them 100%? That's just stupid, just you, because they're not like they're not evil people, but they might do stuff they don't even realize themselves. So you realize it for them, and you can act accordingly, because otherwise you get pretty much thrown under the bus every time. So why would you just take the things like they are? I don't say that's not important in some areas. For example, in natural science or whatever, it has also an importance to check with reality, because if you start to too hard go into the meta, I don't know, into the meta stuff, you will lose touch with reality, and your outcomes won't be accurate anymore, because it's like simulating reality. You need some real data. It's like with a computer simulation. It's the same thing. So the better the data is you put in, the better you can predict what the outcome is.
Okay. Um, Spoken like an INFJ. I'm quite convinced that you are. There's an outside possibility, in theory, you could be an INTJ, but you're first of all you look like an INFJ, but that's not something I ever used to type somebody. But I will point that out.
I mean, it could play into the whole thing, because it's a display. How you look is I think also in your personality, because it really has some value, I guess. So it's not bad to just let that
Right, but so here's the
influence,
thing.
I guess.
Here's another reason why you're an INFJ. If we're talking about my relationship or something, my position on it is it's as healthy as the stories we're telling each other. And as long as I can dictate the narrative, I don't worry about reality other than that. Now, granted, I'm worrying about my experience of reality. That is, are we saying the same stories? If we're saying the same stories, then everything's fine. Because that means you're echoing my stories.
Yeah, because that means that both of you, or both parties involved, are on the same page. They equally realize what's going on, and that's a good relationship in general. But I don't get how this is related to MBTI in some way.
Because
Or,
I'm not interested in knowing what reality is, as you are. I'm assuming, operating on assumptions, I'm going to tell reality what it is, and we'll see. We'll take up the issue when and if reality disagrees with me. But by and large, I operate on the assumption that I get to make reality what I want it to be by telling whatever stories I want to tell.
what?
I'm saying I don't know. I don't know things. I don't know the world. I don't know reality. I may, in a given instance, know
I,
certain
yeah,
things,
I don't know reality either. Nobody does. Nobody does.
but what I'm saying is I don't operate under the assumption that it's there to be known. Because although it is there to be known.
You
Remember,
can't know it, so it's a stupid assumption to make.
it's a matter of where your knowledge function is. If it's universalist or particularist. Mine is particularist, which means I think that knowing whether or not this is what reality is my own experience. If in fact the other person's echoing my story and everything's fine, that's my experience, then it's worked and that's what reality is. But an IDOM doesn't operate like that.
But I am that. Am I that person? That's
No,
what
you're
I.
the other. You're the
Saying, but
NIDOM. I don't think you're that person at all. I don't think you're like me in that regard. I don't think you're an SI user. I think you're an NIDOM. NIDOMs don't look to their experience as, it's like you talk about looking at reality, and you do. You look at it as though you weren't experiencing it, but rather it was known independently of your own being somehow. Uh, but the thing is, what I'm trying to get at is that you go into things trying to understand and get grok all the shit, right? Like you're waiting for shit to fall into place so you have a complete, full, intuitive understanding of the thing, and you can meow the meow. But I don't can't even begin to have an intuitive understanding of the thing until I start pushing on shit and see what happens. I gotta play mashed potatoes masher, or else I can't function.
So, why do you think I don't do it that way?
Because all of your answers are singular. Because all of the answers are consistent with NI, and because I haven't heard a lot of NE. If you want to show me NE, if you think if you're an ENTP, I would like to hear you just give
What?
me as many synonyms as you can for the word. First, the word spectacular, and then for the word indolent. Do you know the word indolent? Yeah. Okay. So go
No,
ahead.
I don't.
Go ahead.
I'm speaking German.
I know you're not a native speaker. I know you're not a native
I'm very
speaker.
good in German, and I'm kind of mediocre in English. So,
Okay, let me ask you this then. I ask you different question. I've just come up with a new invention, and what it is, it's a hair dryer that's also at the same time a an iron, so you can dry your hair while ironing your clothes at the same time. Okay.
that sounds really stupid.
Now I need you to help me name it, so we have a good name, a good snappy name for a marketing product.
Hmm. That's a really hard product to name. It's like because it's kind of stupid in the first place, but I do my best. So. No, man, I don't know. I don't know. I can't. I
Okay,
can't. I can't do it.
let me give you another one. Let me give you a different one. This new invention I have, it's a combination umbrella, like a big umbrella for the sun,
Yeah.
and it's also a tennis racket, so you can play tennis while being under this big umbrella.
The wet hitter.
The wet hitter. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. I like it. That's good. Any other names for it?
The thing is, I don't know that many words in English.
Okay. All right. Do you know the game Inky Pinky?
No, I don't.
All right. So here's an example. Um, road flesh is an ink pink, and the answer is street meat. The answer always rhymes, and I'll tell you how many syllables it has. Okay.
So what? Repeat that. So
So
road what?
okay, the answer to the question that you provide is street meat. That's the correct answer, okay? The
Yeah.
question is, I'll give you the clue, road flesh, and it's an ink pink, which means it's one syllable, okay? I'll give you another example. Uh, hilltop water spout, and it's going to be an inky pinky, and the answer is mountain fountain.
Oh, so I need to translate what you said into an inky pinky, which is like two word
Does that rhyme?
fountain
Correct.
fountain thing. Okay,
Yeah.
I do my best, man. I do my best.
Okay,
Yeah.
so and
No.
here's a straightforward one. It's an easy one. Obese feline. It's an ink pink.
So feline is like a tiger or something like that.
But it's
No.
ink
Yeah.
pink. Ink pink. One syllable each.
Yeah, but I don't know what the word feline means. Is
Yeah,
it like a
yeah. Well, yeah. It includes includes all those kind of animals like tigers.
tiger, lion, and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Fat cat.
Correct. Okay. Let's try a little bit of a harder one. Uh, highly joyous, and it's an inky pinky.
Highly joyous. Highly joyous. Big kick.
It's two syllables each one, so it's a meow 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 meow. Is the
Oh,
answer.
highly joyous. Oh, okay.
Three, two,
No.
one. Very merry is the answer.
I don't know what Mary means. I
Okay.
don't know.
Like Merry Christmas, like Merry Christmas.
I'm not that good in English. It's
Okay,
just
all
how it
right.
is.
Now here's my next thing I want you to do. I want you to make up one of those questions for me to solve.
So, okay. Oh no, man, you're in such an advantage. It's not fair, because I'll do it in German.
Listen. I understand that. I understand you're not a native speaker,
Yeah, yeah, you
but
do.
just try it. I want to try it.
Oversimplified human being with one syllable each.
Okay. Uh, base face.
Base face?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. That's a pretty good one.
Uh,
That's all right.
or uh, a bland man.
Yeah, that's okay. The first one was better, but that's okay.
What do you got? What is it?
What do you mean?
What's your
Oh,
answer?
I have to figure out some word for my own.
Oh, you didn't have an answer.
No.
The way to make these questions, look, the way to make the questions is to first come up with a rhyme, such
Oh,
as
you have to figure it out. You have to figure out what my intentions are, basically.
what I'm saying is to make up a question, first come up with a rhyme and
Yeah.
then figure out the clue, right?
Okay, okay, okay. That I don't know if okay. Nah. Okay. You have to give me some time because I really suck in English.
You're fine. You're fine. It's fine. Look, the point
Yeah,
is,
no, the thing is because if I choose some fantasy words that I came up with, you never figure it out. So what's an English word for frying something?
um,
I just I think the word I'm thinking about is kind of French. So I don't.
like sous vide or something.
No. Sous vide is not frying, but okay, figure out something else.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We don't. Look, do you still think you're an HP?
Okay, ask me. Yeah, I do. The thing is, I took the test and I let other people take the test for me, and they all got ENTP. I got 6 different people taking the test for me, and they got all ENTP with some nuances on it, but basically all ENTP.
Okay.
So it's kind of a hard belief of me, and for you to prove me wrong, I
Um,
I guess I see your point with the things like I have clear answers. The thing is, I think a lot about stuff, and I eliminate a lot of things in the process and like put them together in order to
have you heard the rooster question?
what
Have you heard the rooster question?
the rooster question? No.
So there's in England, there's a this this flock of hens on a farm. Okay, and one
Yeah.
day, the one of the hens injures one of her ovaries, and after
What's
she,
that?
it's the like it's her lady bits inside. She hurts her lady parts,
Yeah,
up
I see.
inside. Um, and then starting that day, she gradually begins becoming a rooster. She grows hair or feathers like a rooster. She starts to like stand up in the sky when there's a hawk and warn the hens, and the hens all go scuttle back to their safety, so just like a rooster would do. She she will like put pieces of food out in front of some of the special hens, like just like a
Yeah,
rooster
yeah.
would do. All
Favorite
this stuff,
ones.
just totally like a rooster. Now, is that a chicken or a rooster?
It's a chicken
Why?
because her her brain's still a chicken brain and not a rooster brain. And if she didn't do some sort of lobotomy, then she's still a chicken that displays as a rooster. Because
Okay.
why wouldn't she be able to? She knows what a rooster does.
But isn't the rooster brain responsible for the rooster display?
Yeah, it is, but for her, it's not natural. For her, it's learned. She maybe saw a rooster while she was still a hen, and she perfectly knows what a rooster has to display to attract hens. And she herself is a hen, so she's able to display it in this way because
Okay.
she knows how to act.
Okay. So why ought we prefer the answer that's supported by what's quote unquote natural rather than the answer that's supported by what's quote unquote behavioral?
What was that again?
Why should we prefer, as a metric of decision making here, the more natural answer
Because of the
instead of well let me finish instead of the more instead of the behavioral description. So you
I
get
see.
yeah.
I see. The thing is, with behavior, it can be very shallow. So how can an actor display something he's not? He's not in person. He just learns it and understands that a part of him or himself is able to do that, and they just like
So
with
do you
the
think the
guy.
chicken is acting?
Yeah, I think so. Why not? Because you didn't say it couldn't act, and it's obviously acting to me.
So you think the chicken is consciously, willfully putting on airs to position
Maybe not.
herself as something that she's not?
It's not maybe conscious, but the chicken wants to be a rooster deep down inside. Deep down inside, the chicken wants to be a rooster. So in order to achieve that, she would display the behavior of a rooster. If it's conscious or not depends on her intentions.
So what
You
makes
know,
you think the move to becoming a rooster stems from her desire to be a rooster?
yeah, I think that
But I said, why do you think that?
because her lady parts got damaged, and she thought like, okay, well, I can't be a lady, which is not true. I now have to become a rooster. It's just I filled it in because you didn't define it in your story, so I just
Right,
feel
I know.
free.
I'm glad you filled it in. No, I'm glad you filled it in. The thing is, you're filling shit in. Like every single one of these things that I'm doing, I'm getting the INFJ answer, not the ENTP answer. Okay. Now, granted, ENTPs will also give a definitive answer to the rooster or chicken question, one way or the other. They'll make an argument. They'll pick a side to make an argument.
No, I
They
think
won't try to avoid the question. INTPs
the
will
thing,
try to avoid the question or try to meta analyze the question.
the
ENTPs
thing is,
won't.
the thing is, I'm kind of concerned with the whole gender issue in the first place. So my definitive answer on that question would be kind of a projection on the political slash ideological issues that I think the world is currently having to a large extent. So it's kind of me making a statement. It's not like I could have filled in, and I could have filled in anything I wanted, but I filled in this, for this particular reason.
Okay, well, so you could have filled anything you wanted, but you didn't. You filled in
I
something
wanted to fill
specific,
in this.
something else, right? So look, note that there are types who don't like to answer it at all. There are types who will first parse out the question and then answer it. I'm not either of those types, and you're not either. INTPs are more like that. But
Yeah, I see how INTPs are like that. I have an INTP friend.
yeah. But here's the thing. Um, what I would be most likely to say about it is, well, it seems like some sort of chicken dichotomy. You know what dichotomy is?
No, I know what dichotomy is.
Right. I don't. I'm not saying dichotomy. I'm talking about dichotomy,
I
and
don't know what that is.
what it is in certain species of animals, if like fish especially, if there's all female fish, one of them will turn into a male.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's
That's
about biological phenomenon, but that's
dichotomy.
not with mammals or with birds.
I know, but note that um, even though I don't think it's literally dichotomy in this instance, I would tend to view it as some sort of chicken equivalent of that, rather than make any kind of motivational calculus about it.
No, the thing is, a chicken is not like that. You can't just it. Why would you do that? What's the point of it?
I
What's the point?
I'm trying to draw a distinction here between the way you answer it and the way I answer it, which is you're doing a motivational calculus. You're saying the chicken is thinking things and deciding things, for reasons linked to its motivation. I would tend to view the chicken as an involuntary participant in that act of changing into
Yeah,
direction.
but the chicken's in your description then deciding anyway, even though it's involuntary.
Okay, but my point is, we might both say the same answer, but we're going to give different kinds of reasons for why.
What? Okay, what's your reasons?
Well, like I
Answer
said, my reasons
the
are going to not be concerned with the motivational calculus so much. That's an INFJ concern. Motivation is underlying everything if you're an INFJ. You are aware of other people's motivations, whether they're telling the truth, whether they're
and
trying to
yeah,
fool
okay.
you, shit like that. And it's, in fact, it's very difficult for people to fool INFJs about mostly anything because very few people are good enough liars to continue fooling an INFJ who's doing what the whole time? They're going, I'm going to use intuition to know what's going on here.
So how would you answer the question as an
I
ENTP?
would say, um, let's say it's a chicken. I'd say, well, because it's it's some sort of biological process like dichotomy here. Obviously, the chicken's not deciding to do anything. It doesn't have any opinion about the matter. It doesn't have a care what gender it is or not. Right? It doesn't think about things like that. Those are abstract issues that are specific to
So it,
humans.
it it hurted her lady parts, and now it's displaying a very unnatural behavior. So there's clearly something going on.
Right. But my
And
explanation would be it's
sort
some
of
sort of
fish or
some sort
and
of metaphysical dichotomy, but that it's not something that's willful on the chicken's part.
no, but I didn't say it. I didn't say the chicken thinks about like, oh well, I don't have any lady parts no more. I have to be a man now. I didn't say that. I said this could be a reason why the chicken's displaying it that way. And the original question was, is the chicken now a male or a female? And it's a female because of her brain, not because she decided something or the chicken is like thinking consciously about something because chickens don't think consciously. So
Okay, but what I pointed out about that is there needs to be a reason why we ought to prefer the quote unquote natural biological brain explanation, where it still has the same brain as it did when it was a chicken. So as a consequence, it's still the same fundamental being, and you can't change something like being a chicken. There's that argument. But what I'm saying is, why ought we prefer to identify the chicken as a chicken on those metrics instead of on what it looks like it's doing? And your answer was, well,
because
because
the backstory, if I didn't know the backstory, then I would assume that the chicken is a rooster, not a chicken.
right, okay, so we okay because we went into the backstory. Fine. So it's true that you would know differently about it if you knew the backstory or not. And the funny thing is, it's not something it ever occurred to me particularly when I talk about this question. What I mean is because that's a nuanced understanding of the knowledge process, right? That in fact, your ability to deliberate on the matter is contingent on um, what your state of knowledge is going into the thing, right?
Yeah, of course, but I think that's basic human trait, you know.
I know you do because you're an INFJ. That's not a basic human trait at all. For non-knowers, we don't roll like that. I don't roll like that.
So you don't roll like with the information you are given.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't occur to me to think out that far in terms of other people's knowledge. Like
What you mean?
I deal with other people's words. I don't speculate very much about what else might be going on. I don't put much weight into reading, even if I'm reading them as being kind of making some sort of weird emotional display or something. I don't. I wait for them to say words because, as far as I'm concerned, until we're engaging in my preferred modality, then whatever's going on with them doesn't matter.
Yeah, of course, but you know the chicken story is concerning me right now. You know.
Well, I know, but you're saying, but you give me an explanation that says obviously if you didn't know the backstory, you would conclude it's a rooster. And I'm
I
saying,
didn't know what I would conclude, but I speculate that I
okay,
would
no,
conclude.
yeah, no, I agree with you on that. If you didn't know the backstory, first of all, it's a true story. If you didn't know the backstory, um, you would determine it's a rooster. That's what you'd say.
Probably. Why
Probably.
wouldn't
If you know enough about chickens and roosters to tell how they look different anyway. Um, but
I? Of course.
um,
More background information, I guess.
but the point of it is, it's a question designed to. It checks a couple of things. One, you did test out equivalent to ENTP on this one, which is you immediately gave a very specific answer, an unqualified answer. That's an ENTP move, an ESTP move, but it might very well also be an INFJ move, an ISFJ move.
And in
To
my
answer.
not. So how did we find out?
Okay, well I'm getting there. So
So let me ask you a question.
yeah, sure.
You you first said I'm an NT kind of I'm an NT type for sure
I
with the
did.
email.
No, actually, I
I
said
said,
I got you nailed down to four. I said NTP,
okay,
INTP.
I might be. I might be. This is what you said. I might be an ENTP, ENTJ, INTP, INTJ. That's what you said.
Okay.
Like, okay, so and then you asked me some TI questions, and after that you were like, okay, you're an INFJ. So what was the turning point for your beliefs on my type? When was the
Your
turning?
TI is not very fast. It's good, but not fast.
My TI is not it's not fast.
It's good, but not fast.
Yeah, you know the thing is I have ADHD diagnosed.
Me too.
Like, yeah, okay, cool, but that's a reoccurring theme that you know even though my IQ is kind of high, you know, I suck at school, I suck at
Okay,
math.
Rafael, listen. My conclusion is well substantiated at this point is that you are an INFJ, and you don't have to agree with me. Obviously, you can just say whatever you want to think about it. But
Yeah, it's cool, man, but I just want to figure out some more because maybe you're right and maybe I've seen the whole thing from the wrong perspective, I guess. And I really enjoy the the conversation, I guess.
yeah, and that's fine. But I I it's weird because a lot of people want to be INFJs. Yeah, so it's like usually if I'm telling somebody they're an INFJ, I'm like, okay, this will be an easy one because they'll be happy. I don't like when I tell people
I
that
don't
think they're
care
going to
if
be
I'm
unhappy, right?
no, I don't give a fuck if I'm happy or not. I just want to find out, and that's why.
You are an INFJ. You just are. You're NI. You're not NE. You're NE valuing. Fifth slot NE is valued. So obviously, you're pretty good at it. You're pretty good at the TI in the third slot. You're quicker than Rachel, but you're not You're not that quick. You're not quick enough for second slot.
All right.
So, I will share this with you as I indicated. I'll stop this video now, and then if you decide to let me publish it, I will publish it when you decide that. If you don't, then I won't, and that's fine. Thanks.
That's cool, man.